You have spent your entire life trying to solve a puzzle that was never meant to be solved. You have changed your clothes, your voice, your opinions, your hobbies, your dreams, and even your face trying to fit into a shape that was never designed to hold you. You have watched other people laugh easily, connect instantly, and move through life as if they were given a manual that you somehow missed. And you have stood on the outside of countless rooms, pressing your nose against the glass, wondering what was wrong with you. Wondering why you felt everything so deeply, why you saw what others refused to see, why you questioned what everyone else accepted. Wondering why you were born feeling like a visitor in a world that has no idea you are here. You were never supposed to fit into systems built for everyone else. That sentence is not an insult. It is an anatomical fact. A fish was never supposed to fit into a tree. An eagle was never supposed to fit into a cage. And you were never supposed to fit into the small, predictable, comfortable boxes that work perfectly for people who are not carrying what you are carrying. Your discomfort in those boxes is not a malfunction. It is a warning system. Every time you felt suffocated in a crowd, every time you felt drained by a conversation, every time you felt like screaming in a room full of people who were perfectly fine, your soul was telling you the same thing. You are in the wrong habitat, and staying there will kill your destiny. You felt it before anyone told you. Long before you had words for it, you knew you were different. Not in a superficial way, not in a "I like different music" way. In a fundamental, cellular, existential way. You looked at your family and felt like you were adopted even when you were not. You looked at your classmates and felt like you were studying a foreign species. You looked at the expectations of the world and felt like the rules were written for someone else. And the loneliness of that feeling has been the most consistent companion of your life. You have tried to explain it. You have sat across from therapists, friends, partners, and spiritual advisors, trying to articulate the thing that makes you feel like you are speaking a language no one else learned. And sometimes they nod. Sometimes they pretend to understand, but you see the flicker in their eyes. The moment they realize you are too much, too intense, too sensitive, too strange, and you learn to hide, you learn to perform, you learn to be the version of yourself that people could tolerate, and that performance has exhausted you down to the bone. Here is the hidden truth that your exhaustion has been hiding from you. Your difference is not a flaw in the design. Your difference is the design. You were never meant to blend in because you were never meant to be part of the background. You are the foreground. You are the detail that does not match the pattern because the pattern was wrong. Every system you have tried to fit into was built by people who were not carrying your assignment. They built boxes for their own comfort, and your job was never to shrink into their boxes. Your job was to grow until their boxes could no longer contain you. The reason you never fit in is that you were not supposed to. The reason you always felt like an outsider is that you were an insider somewhere else. You have been homesick for a place you have never been because that place is your destiny. And you cannot find your destiny by following the crowd. The crowd is going in the opposite direction. This is where it cuts deep. You have been called dramatic. You have been told you think too much. You have been accused of being too emotional, too analytical, too serious, too weird, too quiet, too loud, too everything and not enough all at once. And the worst part is not their words. The worst part is that you started believing them. You started apologizing for your depth. You started hiding your questions. You started pretending that you did not see what you clearly saw, feel what you clearly felt, know what you clearly knew. You betrayed yourself to be accepted, and the acceptance never came anyway. You cannot be accepted by people who are incapable of perceiving you. They are not rejecting you. They are failing to recognize you. And there is a massive difference between rejection and misrecognition. Rejection means they see you and choose no. Misrecognition means they cannot see you at all. They are looking at a masterpiece with the eyes of someone who only understands coloring books. Their opinion is not valid. It is not even relevant. You have been giving weight to the opinions of people who are not equipped to evaluate you. And that stops today. Let me tell you what actually happened to you. Somewhere in your childhood, you received a message that your natural state was wrong. Maybe it was a parent who told you to stop asking so many questions. Maybe it was a teacher who told you to stop daydreaming. Maybe it was a peer who laughed at your excitement. Maybe it was a culture that told you that your sensitivity was a weakness, and you believed them. You internalized their fear of your difference, and you have been trying to amputate the parts of yourself that they found threatening. But those parts are not your weakness. Those parts are your superpower. And every time you suppress them, you dim the very light that you were born to shine. The sensitivity that makes you cry at beauty, that makes you feel the pain of strangers, that makes you unable to ignore injustice. That is not a curse. That is radar. You are feeling what others are numb to because you were designed to detect things that most people cannot sense. The depth that makes you question everything, that keeps you awake at night pondering the meaning of your existence. That is not anxiety, that is curiosity. You are searching for answers that most people are too afraid to ask because you were designed to find them. The intensity that makes you love fiercely, create obsessively, and pursue your dreams with a hunger that frightens normal people. That is not instability, that is fire. And fire changes everything it touches. Stop. Take a breath. I am about to tell you something that will rewire how you see every awkward silence, every uncomfortable party, every moment you felt like an alien in a world of humans. You are not broken. You are not damaged. You are not too much. You are simply a different operating system trying to run on hardware designed for a different program. And the frustration you feel is not evidence of your failure. It is evidence of your incompatibility with environments that were never built for you. The problem has never been you. The problem has been the places you have been trying to exist. Put a wild eagle in a chicken coop and the eagle will look insane. It will refuse to eat the feed. It will try to fly when there is no sky. It will be called difficult, strange, and impossible. But the moment you release the eagle into the mountains, its madness becomes mastery. Its refusal to adapt becomes its greatest advantage. You have been living in a chicken coop, and you have been believing that your inability to be a good chicken was a personal failure. You are not a chicken. You were never meant to be a chicken. Stop measuring yourself against chicken standards. Stop trying to win a game that was rigged against your very nature. The only way to win is to stop playing their game and start playing your own. You have felt it. The strange hostility that rises in certain people when you simply exist. The way they tense up when you speak. The way they try to diminish your achievements, mock your dreams, or pathologize your passion. Chosen one, that hostility is not random. People can sense your difference. And most people are terrified by what they cannot categorize. You are a category of one, and that makes you dangerous to people who need the world to be predictable. Your existence threatens their illusion of control, so they attack, not because you did anything wrong, because your very being is an indictment of their smallness. You have spent so much energy trying to make yourself less threatening. You have dimmed your light to avoid their glare. You have silenced your truth to avoid their arguments. You have hidden your gifts to avoid their envy. And in doing so, you have betrayed the very reason you were created. You were not created to be comfortable. You were created to be catalytic. You are here to shake things up, to disrupt the status quo, to show people a different way of being alive. And you cannot do that while you are worried about making them uncomfortable. I need you to hear this with every cell of your being. Every moment of isolation, every rejection, every time you were left out, laughed at, or looked through was not a punishment. It was a protection. You were being preserved. If you had been accepted by the wrong people, you would have been polluted by their small thinking. If you had been celebrated by the wrong systems, you would have been trapped by their limitations. If you had been understood by the wrong minds, you would have been limited by their understanding. Your isolation was not abandonment, it was quarantine. You were being kept pure for an assignment that requires your full, unfiltered, unapologetic self. Think about it. Every great innovator, every true artist, every real spiritual voice in history was misunderstood in their time. They were called crazy, dangerous, or delusional. They were rejected by the establishment. They were lonely. And that loneliness was not a side effect of their greatness. It was a condition of it. You cannot see what no one else sees if you are constantly looking through someone else's eyes. You cannot hear what no one else hears if you are constantly listening to someone else's opinions. The isolation you have suffered is the price of admission to a level of perception that most people will never experience. And it is worth it. You have been asking why you cannot find your tribe, why you cannot find people who understand you. Chosen one, your tribe is not lost. They are just as rare as you are. And they are also hiding, also performing, also waiting for someone to validate their difference. You are not going to find them in the places where everyone else goes. You are going to find them in the margins, in the quiet spaces, in the places where the strange ones gather when they finally stop pretending. And when you find them, you will recognize each other instantly. Not because of what you say, because of what you do not need to say, because of the silence that finally feels like home. There is a spiritual law that most people never discover because they are too busy trying to be normal. The law is this: your uniqueness is not accidental, it is signature. Every quirk, every obsession, every intense interest, every question that will not leave you alone, every dream that feels impossible but will not die, is a clue to your assignment. The things that make you weird are the things that make you useful. The things that make you different are the things that make you needed. The world does not need another copy. The world needs the original. And you are the only original you will ever get. Stop trying to edit yourself for public consumption. Stop trying to be more likable, more palatable, more digestible. You are not fast food. You are a feast. And feasts are not for everyone. Feasts are for people who are hungry for something real. The people who are meant to receive what you carry will not be offended by your intensity. They will be fed by it. The people who are meant to stand with you will not be exhausted by your depth. They will be deepened by it. Stop performing for an audience that is not your audience. Your audience is looking for you, but they cannot find you if you are wearing a mask. I know you are tired of being misunderstood. I know you are tired of explaining yourself. I know you are tired of the look that crosses people's faces when you stop performing and start being real. I know you have fantasized about being normal, just for one day, just to know what it feels like to not be the strange one. That exhaustion is real. It is not a lack of faith. It is the natural result of swimming upstream your entire life. And you have been swimming upstream because the current was designed for people who are going somewhere else. You are not going somewhere else. You are going somewhere specific, and the path to that specific place goes against the flow. Do not apologize for swimming upstream. Do not apologize for needing rest. Do not apologize for withdrawing from environments that drain you. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a gauge. It tells you when something is wrong. It tells you when you are in the wrong room with the wrong people pursuing the wrong goals. Most people have broken gauges. They stay in toxic situations for years because they cannot feel what you feel. Your sensitivity is a gift. It has protected you more times than you know. Learn to listen to it, learn to trust it, and learn to leave before you need to recover. You have been asking why your path is so lonely, why you cannot just have what everyone else has: a normal job, a normal relationship, a normal life. Chosen one, I need to tell you something that will hurt before it heals. You cannot have a normal life because you are not here to have a normal life. You are here to have a significant life, and significance requires sacrifice. It requires choosing the hard road. It requires being misunderstood. It requires walking into rooms where you are the only one who sees what you see. And that is terrifying, but it is also the only way to fulfill the contract your soul signed before you were born. You did not come here to be comfortable. You came here to complete something. And that something requires your full, strange, beautiful, inconvenient, impossible to categorize self. The world has been trying to convince you that you need to change. The truth is that the world needs you to stop changing. The world needs you to stop apologizing. The world needs you to stand in your full, blazing, terrifying uniqueness and refuse to shrink. Because your uniqueness is your assignment, and your assignment is the reason you are still breathing. I am going to tell you something with the same certainty that I know the stars are still burning. Your uniqueness is becoming your advantage. Right now, it feels like a liability. Right now, it feels like the thing that is holding you back. But the tide is turning. The world is waking up to the emptiness of conformity. The systems that rejected you are failing. The answers that worked for everyone else are no longer working. And in that collapse, the ones who were never comfortable in the old system become the architects of the new one. You are not behind. You are ahead. You were not rejected. You were recruited. Recruited for a mission that has not been announced yet. Recruited for a role that is still being written. Recruited because you have the courage to be different in a world that punishes difference. And that courage is about to be rewarded. The same people who mocked you will one day quote you. The same systems that excluded you will one day need you. The same friends who did not understand you will one day ask you how you knew, not because you changed, because the world finally caught up to what you have always known. The final build look at your difference differently today. Stop seeing it as a wound. Start seeing it as a weapon. Your sensitivity is not fragility. It is radar. Your depth is not heaviness. It is insight. Your intensity is not instability. It is propulsion. Your questions are not doubt. They are discovery. Your restlessness is not dysfunction. It is destiny trying to get your attention. The things that made you strange in the wrong rooms are the things that will make you legendary in the right ones. You just have not found the right rooms yet, but you will. And when you do, you will finally understand why you could never fit into the wrong ones. You were not supposed to fit in. You were supposed to stand out. You were not supposed to belong to the crowd. You were supposed to lead the few. You were not supposed to be understood by everyone. You were supposed to be recognized by the ones who matter. Your difference is not a mistake. It is a marker. It is the flag that flies over your territory. It is the signature that authenticates your work. It is the fingerprint of the divine on your soul, and you have been trying to scrub it off. Stop scrubbing. Start standing.
Here is the thing you have missed in all your years of trying to be normal. The people who finally find their purpose, are not the ones who change theme slaves to fit. They are the ones who refused to change until they found a place that fit them. They are the ones who kept their weirdness, kept their intensity, kept their questions, kept their fire, and simply moved from room to room until they found a room that did not ask them to put it out. The room exists. It is not a fantasy. It is not a fairy tale. It is a real, and you are closer to it than you have ever been. But you will never find it if you are still trying to belong in rooms that were never meant for you. Stop trying to belong everywhere. Start belonging to yourself. Start belonging to your assignment. Start belonging to the truth that lies in your chest. The truth that has been there since before you had words for it. That truth is your compass. It will never lead you to a place where you have to pretend. It will only lead you to places where you can finally breathe. And when you find the thus place, you will realize that you were never too much. Everyone else was just not enough. Not enough depth, not enough courage, not enough hunger, not enough love. And that is not your failure. That is their limit. Do not shrink to meet their limit. Expand until you exceed it, and then kept expanding. Chosen one, your story is still unfolding. The chapter of feeling different is not ending because you will finally become normal. It is ending because you will finally stop caring about being normal. The shift is not external, it is internal. You will not wake up one day fighting in. You will wake up one day realize that fitting is was never to be goal. The goal was to find your people. The goal was to find your purpose. The goal was to find your voice, and you are closer than you have ever been. Do not waste your difference by wishing it away. Do not waste your strangeness by hiding it. Do not waste your intensity by numbing it. Your difference is your assignment. Your assignment is your purpose that will ever make you feel like you belong. Not in the crowd, not in the system, not in the box, but in the flow of your own life, moving toward the thing that only you can do. Your uniqueness is becoming your advantage. The world is about to need exactly what you have, and you will not be ready if you are still trying to change it. Now, go be the strange, beautiful, impossible thing you were always meant to be.